can say for now, as we pray, we just pray that God under as it is will revival is coming to Kenya. And God is telling me to say, continue doing this work. No one will stop it. Revival. All we do is to start with the truth. It's start with justice. It's fight for your prayer. Fight for the justice system in this country because there's no judiciary in this country. It is also very corrupt people. It is also very denouncing as well to the justice of the Kenyans. And I know for sure that this revolution has come to restore, to revive, and to redeem the country of Kenya. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thanks for that, Irene. I appreciate it. And I would just like to, there are various persons that are coming in and out of various rooms, and some will post questions on various platforms. We're currently live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, x.com, and we're also double streaming overseas in some of the countries such as Brazil and Thailand as well. So we just had an opportunity to hear from Irene Kendi's perspective. Just an update on who Irene is. I had that question posted by one of our members. She's a youth and gender expert, a political strategist, mental health advocate, and girl-child empowerment enthusiast as well. Of course, there's more that's attached to her, but I will leave you with that for now as well. I would like also to introduce, another person here within the special as well. And here we go. We're talking about Philip Ogola. Philip Ogola is a retired digital humanitarian with 15 years experience on social media in emergency response in the Horn of Africa, and he has worked as well within the government. So welcome, Philip Ogola. Are you able to unmute? And let's hear your perspective in terms of what has happened up till this point, and before we get into some other questions as well. Gola, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning. Good to hear. I joined you when you were talking, and I'm glad he's here. This is a conversation at least, because for me, I really struggle with names. So my name is Ongola. Ongola is my father. Obiambo is now the name I got at birth, but I never got to know who I am. Why I'm saying my name? Why I'm saying my name is, as a country right now, we have to go back in time. We have to understand who we are as a country. We have to understand our roots. What's our cultural identity? We can't be saying we are Kenyans if we don't even know who we are. But for me, for a very long time, people know me as Angola. Angola is my father, who died 13 years ago. Philip is someone who I don't think people know. So end to end, you get to appreciate yourself. What's happening right now is something which, and for me, I speak from my own opinion. I speak from my own opinion where every generation dismisses the other generation. And I'm happy to see a repetitive pattern. So before I go there, before I go to the pattern, it's really painful as someone who is self-taught, someone who in school was labeled stupid, someone who grew up knowing he's stupid, who taught himself to use his little space to tell stories better. I've been honored to assist the Red Cross in various forms. I think the Red Cross gave me control access to nearly all disasters in the country. I understand the emergency response in the country. I understand the gaps. I've also been ordered to advise the UN agencies in Kenya. So I understand the humanitarian crisis from the frontline front from the whole of Africa. I've also been honored to advise government agencies, nearly all government agencies. I think I have trained all the government agencies in media. But the question which I ask myself is, as we go on revolution right now, as we revolt and clamor for injustice, do we know who we are? Have we gone back and what was done before? So for me, I'm like prayers. Our fathers have prayed, our grandfathers have prayed, our parents have prayed, we prayed, we become parents. Now our children are praying for us. Something needs to happen. When do we need to stop praying and look at our history? So for me, um, it's very, very painful that I have seen so much death in my life. As the digital humanitarian, I have served Kenya for the past 15 years. I understand the GDP in the country. I understand the mental health ecosystem. I understand the health ecosystem. So as we go on the street, do we understand the rot in the country? Do we understand the repetitive patterns in the country? Ruto is not the problem. The problem is the system. We will remove Ruto, but the system will still be there. And this system has been there. It's in every successive government, from Kenyatta government, Moi government, Uhuru government, I mean Kibaki government, Uhuru government, So for me, right now, I can't speak of what I've done because we have an institution who stripped um, all the frameworks. And for me, Rose, I'll tell you, the Gen Z have opened a portal which will cut across every government implementing agency, every government partner. When they're done, they'll go to education. When they're done to education, they will go to the UN. They'll go to NGOs. Because for us to bring a resolution, we have to go around, we have to look at everything from a repetitive pattern. Some of these NGOs are the problem. Some of these UN agencies are the problem. Some of these human rights agencies are the problem. Because as a country right now, Rose, me, my worry is before we can fight for the country, how do we have a robust police force which is kitted with riots here, yet you don't have ambulances, you don't have nurses, you don't have doctors. So for me, this revolution is not just about the Gen Z. The Gen Z have the fire, they have the energy, and that energy needs to be sustained with power. It needs to be sustained with people who can come up with solutions and say, hey, look, we've seen this pattern in the Uhuru government, we've seen this pattern in the old government, we've seen this pattern in the government. Can we correct the system once and for all and go back? So right now, those actions are being taken. I'm retired. I've, I've basically done everything humanly on my digital space. I understand the digital space from a crisis perspective, humanitarian perspective. I've been in here. Um, these are things that you can do. So when I look at the Westgate attack, the terrorist Westgate attack, the ecosystem, the emergency response which was there, the ambulance, fire, I cringe, I worry for my country. So my opinion right now is directly in the street. We as the old generation, like for me, I speak as someone who was born in the 70s. I'm coming to 12 years. I'll be as old as Kenya. You can imagine I'm turning 60, yet I'm seeing the same things my father knows, the same things my grandfather knows. Why should my child grow up in that ecosystem? So for me right now, if you're gonna remove the judiciary, let's go all the way to MP, the governor, MP, let's have a fresh team, and let's have policies which can last us years to come. And those policies should be devoid of politics. Those policies should be devoid of research. Those policies should have generation from our grandparents to the youngest generation. We've seen kids of today are more working. And one thing which I'm really, really worried is as a country, do we honor our heroes? As a country, do we look back and see who are there? You can't call yourself the modern day Mau Mau on the digital space. You can't call yourself the same way of who the Mau Mau. And when you look at the story of Mau Mau, the founders of Mau Mau, the families are all killed. So you find that the countries are actually, most of them actually, or they are living together. Nobody tells their story. for us to go back and touch the what I'm doing, for me, when I look at the digital space right now, what I'm worried is ripple effect. It's gonna be trauma. It's gonna be something that no, we can have conversations, but what I'm saying right now, once we open that door, we continue. We normalize um, we've normalized that, and for me, that's worrying. That's really worrying. We keep
Thank you.
getting comfortable with that, and for me, I think COVID left a trail of trauma. What did you learn from COVID? So right now, for me, I can I have seen government. I've seen gaps in the blood ecosystem, and when people are doing blood drives in the country, I keep asking myself, why do we only donate? Why don't we have mechanisms to ensure that all the blood banks are keeping? I mean, the thing that gives for 15 years. So you find that the current generation have a force, but that force needs to be backed with facts. How does the government have blood banks in the country? How does the government not have like ambulances which are fitting for the patients that are suffering? Why do we see helicopters during campaigns, but during emergencies we don't? For
Um,
me,
let's
it's
pause for a
really sad.
second. Let's pause for a second as well, so that we have some of our other persons to give their perspective. There's a lot of to unpack as well, and I hear Philip loud and clear in terms of the Gen Zs and what has to, given his perspective in terms of what needs to be done, from his perspective as well. I see that it's a greater good for the Gen Zs and for persons who have actually been a part of the protesting that happened recently. For persons who are unaware, Philip Ogola is a retired digital humanitarian with 15 years experience on social media in emergency response in the Horn of Africa, as well as he has worked within local government as well. Um, as I listen to the various speakers was given their perspective thus far, though, I have a question. The government wanted to raise funds to pay off debts as well, which Kenyans said the bill would have caused more economic pain because there are millions of, not thousands, there are millions of Kenyans who are struggling just to get by. And, is it that it was not the right time, or it is the belief that right now, whether it is it a belief that right now it was not a good time, or this is something that should never be taxed from your perspective? So I go back to Moses Basu. What is your perspective on that? Is it that it is the belief that this just cannot happen because of where we are in terms of, the standard way of living, or is it just that it's not the right time? Any, go ahead. Go ahead, Moses, or listening.
To bring awareness in Kenya. For the first time, Kenya asked about things, usually it's just jokes or whatever. And I wanna send my condolences to the young people that have lost their lives in the struggle. RIP to them. RIP to Rex and all the other young people that who were on the front line marching to Parliament. And then Uncle Phil, I'm so sad to hear that you retired. That you have been a champion for digital space and digital campaign. I don't even understand why Uncle Phil. Oh, are you still there?
I think he dropped off. He's probably listening, but he will be right back.
Oh, Phil is gone. My
No,
God,
no.
that's so sad.
Oh no, he's
Because
coming back.
Phil has been one
He's,
of the champions of digital expression in Kenya. I'm actually really surprised that he this is what tends to happen in Kenya. It's like the Red Cross has been part of so many different things that happen in Kenya. Just people like these will get hired with the government, or people just come to them and maybe into the wrong dispensation, or the wrong tribe, or it's always like some common situation where you're like, why are you not hiring the right people? You're just hiring some cronies. When you see the government hiring, you're like, why? There's so many other better people that can do this work. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. But yes, I started my conversation with with the freedom fighters in Kenya, right? And there were many other freedom fighters. We did do the Mau Mau documented a lot. And that's basically what it is. What tends to happen with a